The first bit of advice I would give, which sometimes sounds a bit patronising, but really court should be avoided if at all possible. So, number one, communication. In all the cases that I see, the most difficult ones usually will revolve around zero communications between the parties. Something will have happened to cause the breakdown of the relationship. It may be a sudden jolt that has caused the breakdown, or it may have been an erosion over time. But inevitably, there is a lack of trust and confidence in the parties between themselves, or a fear of change. But if left unattended, that lack of communication will cause an impasse. And ultimately, those types of cases are the ones that I see going to court. Number two is really considering the children. Of course, they didn't ask for this, and we all accept and acknowledge that they are the most important people out of this. But again, we're all humans, and the tendency sometimes is that we feel hurt, we might feel vulnerable, but it will be the children who sometimes don't have a voice or may not be able to express how they feel. What I would always recommend is that people don't sit and consider the short term, but also to consider the long-term implications about how these problems, parties separating, and for example, where there are no contact arrangements between one parent and the other and the children, what are the long-term damage that the children might suffer as a result? In my experience, and certainly getting into teenage years, that can manifest itself with problems at school, problems with their peer group, but moving forward it has long-lasting implications in terms of career and career progression, future relationships, and that's something to watch out for, because the tendency, and I understand it, parties separate and sometimes it is war, but the children get lost in the middle. So for me, the two important points are communication and looking at it from the perspective of the children. Always consider, number three, what is in the best interest of the child. Each case is always going to be different. There may be different risk issues, there may not be, but what is in the best interest of the child? 4, take legal advice. Your lawyer is not there to pump this to court and to cause more dispute. Your lawyer has a duty to provide you with the best advice, to act in your best interests, but be mindful of the children's best interests at the same time, and to actually promote an agreement. So legal advice can be key. 5, mediation. Again, it's another form of communication, an alternative way of parents engaging in something that isn't a court, but to communicate, to focus on the children and to promote an agreement.